This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What is going on? Skol Gang 365 back here again for another Saturday night. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's get in and talk about some Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings right now have a really good roster on their hands, and some people aren't going to like it. How are you doing tonight, Sarah? So, 24th pick in the draft. I definitely can see us moving back. If we do move back, I think we can move back with, say, somebody like the Buffalo Bills. If we do move up, I think we move up to try to take one of them lockdown corners. But if we stay at 24, I think we take a defensive tackle or we take a guard. Kenneth Grant is somebody to watch among many defensive tackles. Kenneth Grant would be an awesome addition to the Vikings. But, off season's here. Draft needs to hurry up. We can sit around and we can talk about what we want, but I want to see the draft for myself. It's at the point right now where it's like I'm done trying to talk about the draft, and I'm ready for the draft to happen. Yeah, I'm getting sick of the mock drafts too. But what's going to be more interesting to me is what we do behind JJ McCarthy. I keep hearing rumors about Carson Wentz coming to the Vikings. I keep hearing Teddy Bridgewater thrown around. And I keep hearing all these names, but are we going to go with Rippon as the backup? I mean, wouldn't mind it, but I mean, what's he exactly proven to even be the quarterback to? I mean, he was one slot shy of being on the practice squad. He's lucky Daniel Jones was there to fill up that practice squad. Yeah, I think we're gonna wait after the draft. Like you said, with the comp pick window is gonna be closed. So after the draft would make sense for them to figure out who's gonna be the quarterback too. I honestly was like shocked watching Dallas trade for fucking Joe Milton. I mean, he would have been someone that I would have went and grabbed. Trey Lance just went out to LA to the Chargers. But a guy like Wentz, maybe. But I wouldn't mind Teddy Two Gloves, for being honest. Bears got Case Keenum as their backup, and solid backup. I'm a big advocate for Case, so I think he's going to help with Caleb Williams. Flacco needs to retire like Rodgers. Dude's too old. Nothing against him, but I mean he's done it all. Yeah, no thanks on the whole Ryan Tannehill. Definitely would be better than Wentz and Tannehill. That is correct. And he has what it takes to win a ring. He's already won a ring. I mean, right now, we're going off our roster. Love what we did with the running back room. You bring in Jordan Mason to pair up with Aaron Jones. It's gonna be a nice two-headed monster. I mean, it's gonna be excellent. Already beefed up the offensive line. You bring in Will Fries. You bring in Ryan Kelly. You already got O'Neal. You already got Darisaw. And all we're missing is that left guard. Um, Also, on defense, bringing in Jonathan Allen, big upgrade. Bringing Jonathan Allen, bringing in Hargrave, another upgrade. I've been saying that Harrison Smith needed some help on that defense line and that interior. Vikings went out and did just that. The only issue I will have is who's going to play defensive end, because we already know who our outside linebackers are. So who we're going to have on defensive end to bring some more sluggers in to get at the quarterback is going to be interesting. I wouldn't mind drafting a defensive end, but I wouldn't draft them in the first round. Maybe go after a linebacker in the later rounds. I would not be opposed to that. Just having a young guy in there with Ivan Pace. Brian Asamoah, I believe he could end up being on the chop block if these cuts happen after training camp. When it's time to cut, I think he's going to be a part of them cuts. But I would not mind getting younger at linebacker. I mean, I like Blake Cashman. I thought he was a great signing. But I think it's time to definitely get younger. Need somebody that's around the same age gap as Ivan Pace. Somebody that can also carry that workload after Cashman decides to either hang it up or if he ends up leaving the Vikings. I think you need to have somebody that can go in there and do what he does. So somebody that can complement Ivan Pace, who's young, would be nice. Corner room, I mean, we extended and re-signed Byron Murphy. I mean, he had a hell of a year, made it to the Pro Bowl. Only knock and issue I had with him is the guy got burnt like toast a lot, but I mean, also helped with our pass rush getting to the quarterback. He was able to find ways to get interceptions, so I applaud him for those 7 interceptions. Now, I need, with the contract that he got, I need him to keep balling out. Otherwise, to me, it's a waste of money. But that's for another time and another topic. So we got Isaiah Rodgers. I thought he was an excellent pickup. Brought him in. We already got Mekhi Blackman. That guy Thomas we brought in, not really sold on him. I think he's a scrub. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that's fighting for a place on the team. I like Dwight McClellan. Nice young body out of Arkansas. Solid guy. Really like him. But with Mekhi Blackman being back, I think our corner room's solid. The only thing we're missing is a shutdown corner. I wouldn't mind Maxwell Hairston. I wouldn't mind Jahdae Barron. I wouldn't mind trading up to get like Benjamin Morrison or Will Johnson. We brought in Rondale Moore on the offense. I like that move at receiver. We can use him as a gadget guy. The guy's got speed, got good hands. He's just had his knack with injuries. So I think he'll bounce back. Another guy on defense that I think Flores can really resurrect is Jeff Okudah. I mean, he's had his string of injuries. We know him well because he played with the Lions. He was also on the Falcons last year when we played them. So I think he rejuvenates his career. Don't take my word for it, but with the way that Flores runs his schemes, a lot of these guys are gonna fit in, because if they don't fit in, they usually get weaved out. And as we saw with Lewis Seen, he got weaved out. He couldn't get down with Flores' schemes. I mean, he did come back off injury because he did get injured in a London game. Hate to see players get hurt, but I mean, when he got back and he was able to practice and participate and everything, he just wasn't showing any growth. So it is what it is. I mean, it's a business. I mean, he had to go. So I mean, congratulate him to being a part of that Super Bowl last season with Philadelphia Eagles. Like the Vikings told him, good luck in your future endeavors. But this year, if we're gonna take a safety, it needs to be somebody that can really fit and mesh well with Flores' scheme. And if it's not a scheme guy, this guy can't mesh well with the scheme, then there's going to be a problem. So Harrison, I think this is Harrison's last year, Harrison Smith. So, and already losing Cam Bynum, that was a blow, in my opinion, to the secondary, losing Cam Bynum. If I had it my way, it would have been Cam Bynum that would have stayed. got that $60 million contract, and would have went out and got a corner. We still can, but get my gist. I would rather had a guy who's locked down. Somebody that's not getting burnt every play and just right there. But again, that's for another day. What's going on, Colin?
What's going on, Darren? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Just shooting the shit right now. Just going over the roster moves that we picked up, free agency. I mean, a lot of good pieces. The only piece I didn't like was that Tamarian Thomas. I think he's a scrub. I mean, me personally, I would have waited for that dude after the draft when you're trying to fill up the roster for guys to compete in camp. I mean,
I don't even know who you're talking about, to be totally honest with you.
Some dude that's not going to be a starting corner that Quezzy thought was, this is a good way to spend money.
Well, it probably won't be for too long. I mean, he brought in that Nation right back too, so it doesn't matter if you cut them, you pay them whatever they want for being a camp body, and then you send them packing. So there's not much you can do about that. Just creating the competition, I guess. They're gonna wait if they're gonna make any moves. They're gonna wait until after the draft, anyways. At this point, so that they can keep their compensatory. Yep, that's my thinking. But as you can tell by my,
it's gonna be really interesting to see who quarterback 2 is.
I know nobody wants to hear it, but Aaron Rodgers is still sitting there. I know nobody wants to hear it, but he's still sitting out there. I think inevitably it seems like he's probably going to end up going to Pittsburgh, but because I don't think the Vikings are going to make a move, but man, it's getting closer and closer to that draft, and how crazy and sweet it would be for us to announce us signing Aaron Rodgers right before the draft. So
I've also heard talks about if the Vikings aren't too sold on JJ McCarthy, that we trade JJ and our 24th pick to the Chargers and get Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't they talking about that last year too? There was a rumor about that last year too. So I don't know. I feel like they're pretty sold on McCarthy, but I think there's probably some hesitation with his injury and the fact that it may not even be hesitation. It's just they spent a lot of money on getting veteran guys. And I feel like they're setting it up for him to do well if it ends up being him. However, it still may be a runway for getting a veteran and maybe seeing what they've got to do if he doesn't pan out right away. So I think he'll be fine. I just think I'm still kind of in on Aaron Rodgers going to the Vikings. I still think it could happen.
Yeah, I think it could be a possibility, but the way that they were talking about how JJ was their man kind of convinced me that we could possibly see Teddy Two Gloves reunion. I've been hearing about Teddy Two Gloves being a backup.
I wouldn't. He'd be a good role model.
Right.
I don't know if he's somebody who could legitimately push him to be a starter. I think.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be.
I'm a big believer in competition, so I would like to see them bring in a veteran that's like, hey, you got to earn it, buddy. So
like a guy like Joe Flacco.
Maybe Joe Flacco. I think Flacco would probably submit to him starting. Tannehill. I don't know if I really want Tannehill.
Yeah.
He hasn't played in 2 years.
What about Carson Wentz?
That's an interesting one because he's from Minnesota, or he's from North Dakota. So that's an interesting one. And I think people have kind of panned him as being a locker room cancer, even though, I don't know, if you're in Philly, fans can be.
I mean, he did have that pretty good season with Indianapolis.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look terrible. So, those are the kind of moves that Kwesi. Those are the things he kind of does. He tries to get draft picks that were number one picks and see. I mean, they did it with Okuda as well this year. I mean, they're bringing in guys that are
Rondale Moore. He looked at Rondale too.
He's a second. I like Rondale Moore though. I actually really like. I think that's another Rondale Moore and Jordan Mason are two kind of underrated.
Yep.
Moves. So I liked both of those moves. Okuda, we'll see. I still think there's a big move to be probably one more, maybe not over the top move, but I could see Asante Samuel after the draft being a Viking just to keep the compensatory picking. That would not be me.
Yeah, I like Asante Samuel. The only thing with me is like his tackling ability. He's really gonna have to work on that. Yeah,
I mean, but his coverage is enough. So
right, I think Flores is gonna tell him like you got to eat some more potatoes. You need some more peanut butter in your diet.
I think you need to get hand strength and get a racquetball and just get some more hand strength or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, or hire Antoine Winfield Sr. as the, tackling coach or something.
Right. just have him. Just tell him like I want to see more physicality of you jamming on the line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see it happen. I mean, I wouldn't rule out Shaq Griffin coming back either.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I don't think Shaq Griffin played terrible.
I also wouldn't mind Gilly coming back.
He's not coming back. He's done.
I mean,
he's done. He's like 40. He's like what, 48, pushing 49 years old. I mean,
he's like 35.
Yeah. Well, either way, I don't see him. I think he's done. However old he is, I think he's done.
I mean, if Harrison can come back, still producing.
Yeah. It's easier when you're a safety. When you're a corner, it's not. It's a different ball. That's a totally different ball game. So,
or we could always go after Patrick Peterson.
Yeah, about that too. No. I thought the whole point of us getting a younger team was getting a younger team, not a let's sign two guys to make us the oldest team in the NFL. Let's see if we can.
True.
Harrison was enough. Let's not try and push it.
Well, I also would not be opposed to us taking a middle linebacker in this draft. I think we need to get another young guy in there with Ivan Pace.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be totally based off of if they trade down a little bit and create more capital. I don't think a middle linebacker is something that in this draft that you need, that you could get if you only have 4 picks. Like if you move down and you get another pick and then you fill one of those other ad positions, which to me are Vikings need another quarterback. I mean,
yeah,
sure. Yeah, we could use another one. Your point. No, I would, if we can get another pick, I would probably do that. I mean, the positions to me that I feel like we need to focus on in the draft, as you can tell by my hashtag there, are running back, defensive tackle, high end, cornerback, safety, and guard. I mean, those are really those are the main positions. Now, if a linebacker were to fall, I would be okay with it. Barrett Carter out of Clemson's not a bad one, and I like Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma. So there's a few guys out there that I wouldn't mind having. Another guy that I like is the kid Sawyer from Ohio State. And I know he's an edge rusher / outside linebacker, but I like his intangibles. I like the way that he kind of is out there and leads the team. So I think he could be somebody like down the road. If you were to move on from Grenard or you move on from Van Ginkel, I feel like it's one of those rotational guys that could learn his way, play special teams, and play his way onto the field.
Thank you for that.
It's a smart analysis for a Vikings. Would it be a smart analysis if we signed Aaron Rodgers right before the draft starts in Green Bay? Right in front of everybody in Green Bay? Do you think you would like that?
Yeah, would it be a smart analogy for Rodgers to come out and troll Green Bay on draft night and say he's going to be a Viking?
Who say anything about trolling? How about we just sign him? I would be okay with it.
Sign him right before the first pick, so the commissioner's got to announce it.
Or right before the Packers pick, because the Packers do pick right before us, so that would be very ironic. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Will McCarthy be ready to go? In theory, he should be.
Yeah, he's had all the time to recover. Now he's throwing the ball, doing all the things he's supposed to be doing.
I don't even know if it's a matter of I wouldn't mind him for 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year, not more.
I'd be fine with him for 1 year. I don't know why. I think fans of other teams that are like, oh, Aaron Rodgers, he's washed up. I'm like, everybody who goes to the Jets ends up feeling washed up. It would be entertaining. Yes, it would. Look at the last quarterback we just had. Look who almost shipwrecked that career. And that wasn't a former Packer. That was a former Jet, Sam Darnold. And we brought him in and we gave him a chance and he played pretty well. I am honestly pretty happy that we do not have Darnold anymore. I think we gave him a platform. He was able to kind of pull a Case Keenum and be able to get himself a contract somewhere. And I think that he'd served his purpose. I mean, we only signed him for $10 million. I think if he would have gone a little bit further in like a playoff run, there would have been a little bit more of a allure to maybe sign him to a couple-year contract extension. But my name for it. Yeah, that goes back to the comment there. That goes back to the Aaron Rodgers comment. Like Rodgers is going to, at best, no more than 2 years. Yeah, correct. I would still look to finish up addressing the left guard.
Yeah,
I think Brandon Scherf is still kind of sitting out there.
I also wouldn't mind.
Bad.
I also wouldn't mind using it in the draft either. On left guard.
I don't know if I would take Tyler. I don't know if I would take Tyler Booker in the first round.
Now what about Vrabel?
That's a tough one because he's very versatile. I don't know if he's necessarily for. See, I'm very set on the Vikings taking a defensive tackle in the first round. I think that this is a draft that has guys like that. And again, there's a couple exceptions. If Ashton Jonty is sitting there at 24, I'm running to the booth.
If Will Johnson's there.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on which D tackle is there, though, too.
True.
I mean,
right.
It totally depends on that. I mean, I would in my world, if we could trade down and get a second round pick back, which I don't think, depending on who falls to 24.
I was hearing mocks of us drafting trading draft capital with Buffalo.
Yeah, I know they brought up Addison too. I don't know if Addison necessarily is going to end up with Buffalo though. That seems like a weird thing. When Vikings key offensive guy hurt Darnold. Well, which key offensive lineman are you talking about? Are you talking about?
I'd say Darisaw.
Are you talking about Darisaw going down? Yeah. I mean, to Darnold's credit, he was tough. I mean, you can't be any worse if that's a. I mean, they got rid of Eberflus. I don't think they can get any worse. I don't disagree that he won't. I don't think Jonty would drop there either. But I'm just saying, I'm just putting up hypotheticals that for some reason it did happen. The Bears need a running back too. Well, the Bears need a lot of things still. I still think if I were them, I would focus on the offensive line still with the Bears. I get that. I mean, Jonah Jackson is still a retread guard. Like the Lions cut him, and he was a backup with the Rams. Like when they made a big hairy deal out of signing him. I'm like, I mean, this guy has been kind of a retread guard. Thuney, I think, is a good move, but Thuney got beat really bad in the Super Bowl, so it makes you wonder if maybe he's at the other end of his career.
Honestly, I think if I'm the Bears, I think you have to go guard at 10 because I really don't trust Jonah.
I don't know if you go guard that high. I mean, running back. Jonty's sitting there. That's a ready-made pick. But I'm just curious if a team like Dallas were to trade up to get Jonty. I feel like they might move up to get him, and I could totally see the Raiders possibly doing it as well. So that would not.
I could also see Dallas trading with the Bears or one of the teams ahead of the Bears.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I think Dallas has got their eye on Jonty for sure. So right. that would not surprise me. Again, I think don't rule out the Raiders either. The Raiders went out and got Geno Smith, so it's not as though they have a retread quarterback. They've got a guy who's now considered pretty legitimate. So getting a guy like Jonty could be something that would be very enticing for them.
Also, it's kind of salty seeing that Dallas got Joe Milton.
That's New England Patriots intelligence right there. They're finally starting to get smart. I mean, they picked Milton in like the 6th or 7th round, and they were able to package him a 7th for a 5th round pick. I mean, you get a higher pick for a guy. You get a higher pick than what you pick the guy at, and that's ultimately. Again, if the Vikings were to get let's not go back to the year of the Lewis Senior, but if they were to be able to acquire a few picks in this draft and say take a guy really late as a quarterback and have him as a development guy, I wouldn't be totally shocked by it. I mean, Brett Rippon is going to be a coach. He's not a quarterback anymore. And so ideally they're going to sign a veteran one way or the other. So, I mean, drafting a quarterback wouldn't be horrible. So I don't know. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. So it would have to probably be somebody that O'Connell sees and goes, yeah, this could be a guy who could develop and try and mold it in the mold of McCarthy or Rodgers or whoever they have at the beginning of the year. Quarterbacks, everybody needs a quarterback. So,
all right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back here in a minute.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network on Roku and Fire Stick. This is the first place to find all the latest NFL news, trades, and rumors. If you have a Roku or Fire Stick, access your menu and locate the search bar to perform a channel search. Then simply type in Huddle Sports Network. After completing the search, this logo should appear. Then add to your menu and you're good to go. We cover all your football needs from breaking news to trades and rumors. So join us and enjoy the sport we learn to love so much. So be sure to add Huddle Sports Network to your Roku or Fire Stick menu and keep informed of all your football news and needs. You can also find us on Facebook and of course YouTube. Thanks for supporting our journey and our passion for football.
I want to thank Tom Nolens for that narration. Thanks, buddy.
He really needs to start thinking about doing voiceovers for Hot Ones or maybe Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. He's got that voice for it, or maybe the Australian Golden Bachelor. That'd be pretty good for that.
He could also do rugby commercials.
Can put some more shrimp on the Barbie.
He can even do the Outback Steakhouse commercials.
No rules, just right. You know. Oh, we better not say any names here right now. We don't want to do any copyright infringements. So
True. I don't know that guy Tom Novens.
oh, I know him very well. He's a buddy.
It was a rumor.
Something like that. And back in the day, doing a little Jeopardy back in the day, that was always entertaining as well. I enjoyed those times. I miss those times. R.I.P. David Gray.
Yeah. Now, who would you want at 97?
Seems like that might be the running back time.
Ollie could be there.
Oh, Ollie would be there for sure. But yeah, I mean, Caleb Johnson, if he were sitting there, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Caleb Johnson would be a really interesting pick there. God, if Dalen Walker was at 97, I would probably have a anxiety attack because I'm probably one of his big Ollie Gordon and Dalen Walker. I'm very big fans of, and Siobhan Ravel. Ravel's going to be a first rounder, early second. So, in spite of his injury history, but Ollie, I like Ollie a lot. I think people forget that this guy did win the running back award in college 2 years ago, and then his college completely fell apart. Oklahoma State completely fell apart. Yeah. So I think people are really kind of sleeping on him. He's a big, physical, kind of like an Eddie George, like kind of running back, and I like him a lot. And with the emphasis on running game and cold weather in the playoffs, I think you can't get enough. Like if you were to get, because I mean, Jones is probably going to be there, a year or two.
Yeah.
If Jones goes, I mean, it's nice to have a guy in the well if Jones were to go, and then you got Jordan Mason and Ollie Gordon or RJ Harvey later. But this draft is really loaded with running backs. So getting a running back at 97, I mean, I think it'll just kind of depend on how the trends fall and see where some of the higher end guys go earlier in the draft. I mean, Jonty obviously will be a first round pick. I think Omari and Hampton is somebody that to keep an eye on, because if I've seen people say that he's going to be a first rounder, and I've seen people that said he's going to drop to mid second, early third. So I think he's probably the second running back taken in this draft, but it'll just totally depends on what kind of run on the position goes. So right. I think Ollie Gordon, I think for sure he'd be there at 97. It would not surprise me if he was there the next pick around. So, but Dalen Walker, to me, God, find a way. I would love to have him on the team because I feel like
he's just massive.
He is, or even the kid from Florida. I mean, Desmond Watson, like that guy's enormous, and I mean, he would be just a guy to put in and stop the run. But I mean, if you watch some of his tape recently, like he's pretty athletic. I mean, for 430 pounders go, he's pretty athletic, but he at least can move. So, but Dayon to me, he's a beast.
Yeah, I heard that he's like 464 pounds now, so he put on some weight.
Wow, he must have ate one of the Florida backup point guards from the basketball game tonight.
I mean,
maybe it was one of those Australian ones that Tom Novin sent in. I don't know. He thought it was a shrimp on the Barbie and
gator on the Barbie,
shrimp, and then it just being shrimp. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I wouldn't mind him being that big and massive, clogging up that middle.
Well, who's going to block him? Like, I mean, unless you play the Ravens every game with Daniel Faalele, like, who's going to? I mean, even if he just slows people down from blocking, right? Like, you can't move that guy. Like, if you put any muscle on, good Lord Almighty, that would be impossible to move him. So.
I mean, you could put all your people on him, but that's just going to free up like Bernard and everybody.
Yeah,
because everybody's going to be focused on the big guy in the middle.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be kind of a tell though.
Right.
I think Walker might be a little bit tougher to plan for because he can rush the passer pretty good.
Right.
I mean, if Watson's in there, he's only in there to stop a quarterback sneak or a tush push or just stop the run.
Dude,
he's
if I see him roll over a fucking center and then him get to the quarterback, I'd be like, wow, that's impressive.
It'd probably be accidental, but yes, it would be impressive. I don't disagree with you on that. But yeah,
just him giving the Goldberg spear to a quarterback and then the quarterback's helmet just popping off.
Helmet pops off. Shoot, his whole body. It would look like more like a spear from Bray Wyatt, and half of his hips explode. Gonna look at that and think he's gonna do his I want some poi dance afterwards. It's gonna seem like it's a luau. Good Lord Almighty. But I like him though. So
yeah, me too.
But Walker to me is good. A guy who I like too is a cornerback named Darian Porter out of Iowa State. He's kind of a big guy, like a tall guy. He's a little bit lanky, but he's got some serious athletic ability. He'd be kind of a nice find at 97 as well. A guy who I said last year I wanted the Vikings to get, of course, they never listened to me, but Jaden Hicks, a safety from Arizona State I think he ended up going to the Chiefs, but Darian Porter to me is kind of a similar mold of a guy that I would like to see them kind of identify at 97 too. Yeah. What do you think? Where do you think they should go?
I think at 97, you got to go either running back or you go safety at 97.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind one of the running backs like Ollie Gordon. I wouldn't mind if there was one of the Ohio State guys was there.
Yeah.
Johnson from Iowa. Wouldn't mind him.
Mm-hmm. Another guy who I kind of like, maybe even a little later running back that I think people sleep on is Devin Neal from Kansas. That guy's got some serious moves. He reminds me a little bit of Bucky Irving with the Bucks now, former Minnesota Golden Gopher that ended up going to Oregon, but I like Bucky Irving. A futures pick, Gophers safety, Kai, what's his name? Kai, Parrish. Koi Parrish.
Yep, Parrish.
Don't screw this up, Vikings. You screwed it up with Antoine Winfield Jr. a couple years ago. Please don't screw it up with Koi Parrish.
How's it going?
Well, hello, Mama Viking. How are you?
Yeah, I would not mind Koi at all.
Yeah. Koi Parrish fits with the Vikings like Arch Manning fits with the Saints. Yep. It's meant to be. And I'm still making that prediction again, that the Saints will tank this season and they will take Arch Manning with the first pick of the 2026 NFL draft. You heard it from me first.
Another Manning to the Saints.
A third generation Manning for the Saints. Yes, that'd be very, very interesting. And I like Arch, so don't draft Quinn Ewers. He is bad. Yes, I agree.
I mean, that's also why mocks are predicting him to go like 5th round.
Yeah, I would stay away from him. I'd honestly stay away from Jalen Milroe. I think some people are high on him, but system quarterback. I'm not as big a fan of his. Some people are, but I don't know. I like, again, this kind of goes back to me liking players from either small schools or schools where they're like the main guy at their position. And every week that they play a good team, they put their best effort to try and stop or get pressure on that person. And that shows you how good they are because they can do it on their own. And, you know, Ollie Gordon's one of them. Devin Neal's one of them. Keep an eye on a receiver named Thornton from Tennessee. He's a big athletic freak. I know we don't necessarily need a wide receiver, but you can never have enough of them. And Naylor, it's probably should have get off the pot time for Naylor next year with the Vikings. He's got to cement himself, or he's going to be like another KJ Osborne. He'll finish his season and hopefully he'll have a good year, and then some team will sign him for a decent amount of money, and he'll.
Patriots will be the sucker. Patriots or the Panthers?
Panthers? I don't know. I think the Panthers are starting to head in the right direction. I think people really bagged on them last year, but I think they got a good coach. Dallas is a good coach.
They need a couple more weapons, and I think that offense is really, really solid.
People forget that Adam Thielen had 1,000 yards last year. Yep. Even as bad of a team as they were, people forget that Adam Thielen had 1,000 yards. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be upset with bringing Thielen back. I don't think he's going to, but I wouldn't be at the trade deadline if Carolina's out of it. I wouldn't be opposed to us bringing back Thielen. So, McMillan will be a bust wide receiver. Yeah, that could be Terrence McMillan from Arizona. Yeah, he's probably right on that quote. Trying to think who the receivers are that are out there in this draft. I know we're not really focusing on them. I mean, I said the Thornton kid from Tennessee.
I really like the guy out of Missouri, Burden.
Oh, Burden? Yeah, I like him. I don't mind Burden. He's got a little bit, but I mean, Burden to me is like Rondale Moore. Like, I don't really feel like we need to bring in a guy. I don't think we need to bring a guy. I'm sure Burden would fit somewhere, but I don't think he necessarily fits on our team. I wouldn't be stunned if Moore stepped in and became the number 3 receiver on this team. That would not surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more versatility with Moore than anything else. I would keep an eye on us moving Jordan Addison at some point, only because I don't see us signing him to a long-term contract extension. I feel like there's a lot of other pieces that we need to address. I mean, it wouldn't stun me if they did sign him, but he's got to get his head together a little bit. But I think his trade value might not be any higher than right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they moved Addison. It may not be. And on the surface, it may not look like a good move, but I feel like if we could get I feel like we could get a first for him. I feel like we could. Yeah. Still on a rookie contract, has a proven NFL player.
Well, see, for me is if we do ship him out, I want to ship him to a team where we can fleece a team. Get whatever we want out of him, like picks. Whatever we want.
Addison for Denzel Ward.
Who says no?
I mean, where you have to be realistic. If you're Cleveland, you have to be realistic on where you are as a team. So, I mean, if you were to trade, I mean, honestly, if you were to move Addison for Denzel Ward, it would kill 2 birds with 1 stone for Cleveland too. Because they've got the second pick,
right?
And you could take Travis Hunter and just have Hunter plop right into where Denzel Ward was. And I don't know if they necessarily are going to take a quarterback.
Or you plop him right where Addison was at. Plug him right where Addison's at. Let him play wide out.
With Minnesota, no. We're not going to be able to get up together. I'm saying Denzel Ward you throw in as our number 1 corner. We're not going to get the second pick from Cleveland. You're crazy. We won't get that much.
That's what I tell him. I'd be like, look, dude, I want Denzel and I want the second pick, and Addison's yours.
Do we have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison confused right now? Wait a minute here. That's going a little too far.
We can always put the barrel to Cleveland's mouth.
Maybe we can re-sign Josh Gordon too. I said all along to I think it was Wabi Mike Wobskall. I was on one of his shows once, and I told Wobby, why don't we trade Adrian Peterson for Joe Thomas back in the day? And he's like, oh, we'd never trade Adrian Peterson. This was right before AP completely fell off. I'm like, dude, we needed a tackle. Like, why not go get him? But I don't think Joe would have ever have gone. So
Yeah, I don't think so.
Which is weird because I get that Cleveland, they're very into football and the fans are very loyal, but man, the ownership is terrible there.
I think if we could move on from Addison, I think it would happen draft night. Like we want to move up.
If we want to move, if we move Addison, then that opens a door for us drafting a wide receiver too.
I say you move up and you get Denzel Ward, but you move up like with picks, and I don't know.
I'm down on getting future draft capital too. I know. I feel like with our limited amount of picks, we got to take the strategy of make the best available pick that we can at the spot we're at with every pick that we have, or we can trade down and get more picks next year. I think getting more picks next year is big because we're going to get 2 comp picks.
Right.
We've got to make up somewhere. I don't know what we could get for him, but I wouldn't be totally opposed to trading TJ Hawkinson as well. I don't know what the value is on him at this point, but I wouldn't be totally opposed to doing that because I think people criminally underrate Josh Oliver. And he's a less expensive option than Hawkinson. And if you're going to start going to a running game, Oliver's a way better run blocker than Hawkinson is.
Right.
But I understand you're almost conceding it when you move on from Hawkinson, or if you were to move on from Hawkinson. So,
see, my thing is like if we take a wide receiver, I wouldn't take one this year. I'd take one next year. And if you move on from Addison, the guy I really got my eyes on is that guy out of Oregon, Stewart.
Yeah, you are a big Stewart guy. I know that.
He's got the hands, he's got the legs, he's got the speed.
Well, something too, if you were to move on from Addison too, you could very easily plop a veteran like, Amari Cooper, sign him and kind of have him maybe play that role.
I put Keenan Allen in there too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be totally opposed to that. I like Cooper a little bit more than Allen at this point in their careers. Yeah. But I think Allen would be more professional about being the number 2 guy than Cooper would.
Right.
I think they would go. I think JJ and one of those two. If I had to pick between those two, Allen would be he'd be a more veteran savvy complimentary guy. It'd be kind of, I'm not going to compare it, but like when Randy Moss and Chris Carter were together, Carter deferred to Moss, and I feel like Allen would be fine deferring to Jefferson. So,
right.
There's another guy who I like in the draft. If you're looking for a receiver, a guy named Xavier Restrepo from Miami. He's a really good kind of slot guy, but I watched him play a few games down here in Florida, and he's a pretty solid kind of guy to be a 2 or 3 as well. Because Jefferson makes some money. He makes the most money at his position. Maybe not anymore.
Jefferson's the franchise player here.
And he's great. He's a team guy. Like he's the kind of guy you sign to this contract. He's the kind of guy who would probably be like, I'll defer some of my money or I'll move some money around. Like you got a team player in him, and I think people underestimate his skill as a receiver. Amon Rossi Brown's way better, or Jamar Chase is way better. Like there's more to it being a great receiver than just being a stat stuffer. It's somebody that's willing to defer to get your team better. And I think that's where Jefferson really is valuable, and you can't let that guy ever leave the room.
You like these guys too?
I mean, Ohio State has a pretty good history of wide receivers as of late. So,
yeah.
But Ibuka, I wouldn't take in the first round unless you moved Addison. If you moved Addison, then I'd think about it. But if you don't move Addison, I think Higgins is a good one a little bit later in the draft. I still like the kid Thornton from Tennessee. He's a big dude and he's big and fast.
Yeah, he is.
They say he's a system guy, but you can't. Some stats are inflated with Thornton. Yeah, I mean he's in the Josh Heupel system, and I remember Heupel being the coach here at UCF. They definitely had an offensive system that worked well, but I don't know. I think Thornton. I can't remember his first name, but I think it's Dante Thornton. But either way, there's a safety that I like out of Virginia named Jonas Sanker. This guy can really hit hard, and a corner from Virginia Tech, Dorian Strong.
Always like an Andrew Sendejo guy.
Yeah, he would be a bad one. I mean, I think they're going to play Theo Jackson. I think Theo played pretty well, and he's a special teams guy, so he knows how to hit hard. So I'm fine with them doing that. I tend to look at are these players. Well, I mean, Green Bay, Chicago are not going to be relevant, so it really doesn't matter. The question is, can they play in Philadelphia? Can they play again? I mean, really, a lot of the guys that you got to look at drafting for the postseason are guys that can stop the run. You can't run in the offseason, you're in trouble. Huh?
Also, they need to be able to handle the noise in like indoor stadiums like Detroit and LA.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's not a lot of noise in LA because they don't care about the Rams, really. It doesn't seem like they care too much about them.
Arizona cared more about them.
They did. Well, I mean, that was because of a fire, but I'm not gonna. That's pushing it a little bit. But. Yeah, I don't. The countries in soccer, I'm
opposed to playing on soccer fields.
I'm opposed to them playing overseas. I mean, yeah. I think they should have one game a year. That's it. Pick one place and play it there.
Yep, and it's like a lottery. You fucking pick the teams for the next season to play.
Yeah, if you're turning into like a World Cup situation where a team bids to host the one NFL game, I mean, even if it were like the first opening game of the year, like NFL opener at this stadium. Packers and Steelers play at artificial turf field. Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing on that Astro shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll be using potato skins instead of tire treads for that speed turf. I don't know. As an Irishman, I can get away with saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, how about Australia? I mean, they have like rugby fields. Like, why not play? The pitch is very similar in Australia's football field, rugby, as it is to here. So it can mess up their sleep. Well, I mean, to be fair, I've been to Brazil, and Brazil is on Central Standard Time. So it shouldn't set it up too bad. You go to England, you go to Germany, you go to wherever they're thinking about going, like, you need to do it right before a bye, or you need to do it, hell, have it be the end of the season. I don't know. So,
right.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss now. How much time you got?
Probably wrap it up here shortly, but I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Go Pack Go All Day, for commenting in the comments, and we'll see you back here next Saturday. Skol.
Whoa.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.